A life note about the company that we keep. Have you ever heard the old saying that bad company corrupts character? I think that a lot of times we really underestimate how quietly that happens. Because most of the time, you don't think that you are becoming like the people around you. It's something that kind of just naturally begins to happen. You think that you're different, that you are more aware, that you are more disciplined, you're more grounded. You tell yourself, I can be around this all the time and not be affected by it. Energy really is persuasive, and patterns are contagious. And sometimes I think that we forget that subtle influence. And bad company doesn't always look loud or look reckless. Sometimes it looks like constant complaining, pessimism disguised as realism, bitterness being framed as honesty, stagnation explained away like that's just how things are, that's just how I am. And you may not adopt it all at once, but you start to absorb it slowly. And oftentimes we don't even realize that that's what's happening. You adopt it in your tone, in your thinking, in what you start tolerating. You start to treat things as if they are the norm when that's not normally what you would do. There is a reason that people say that misery loves company, because unhappy people don't always want solutions. They want validation oftentimes. They want someone to sit in their frustration with them. You ever meet somebody and they have something going on, or they're frustrated and you're trying to talk them off the ledge or talk them through the moment and help them see a different perspective, and they are insistent that no, that's not it. It's something else. It's everybody else. It's everything else except for anything but me. That's what I'm talking about. Unhappy people like when people sit in their frustration with them, and people who will normalize the resentment and co-sign the stagnation. And if you're not careful, you'll mess around and become that company, not because you agree, but because you stay around. A lot of people believe that proximity equals loyalty, right? And that staying around someone who is stuck, bitter, or self-destructive is a form of compassion. And it may very well be from our stance, right? You stay around people because you love them, you care about them, and you don't want to just, throw them away. But there's a difference between compassion and participation. And at some point, if you stick around for too long and you let them fester in their mess and they're not making any changes, then it becomes participation. You can care about someone without letting their mindset become your environment, because that's how character gets compromised. Character isn't just about what you do when things are hard, but character is about what you allow to influence you daily, who it is that you are daily, who it is that you're becoming, who it is that you're representing when you're walking through life, who you listen to, who you vent with, who you normalize. And if you are surrounded by people who constantly see the worst in everything, eventually you'll start to look for that too. Ain't it crazy how that works? The energy that we carry transfers to other people without them even knowing that that's what's going on. Not because you're weak, but because repetition teaches. So if you're around something over and over and over and over, then that's what is going to be consumed by you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And so you got to choose differently sometimes. And this isn't about abandoning people. It's about setting boundaries that you need in your life in order to be the best version of yourself. You don't even have to announce your distance. You don't have to explain your growth. You don't even have to make the changes that you're making in your connection with them a big deal. Sometimes growth looks like you just simply having fewer conversations, them having less access to you, or you having a more quiet exit. And it's not out of arrogance, but out of self-preservation. Because sometimes that's what we need. And if someone's presence consistently pulls you towards bitterness, pulls you towards hopelessness or small thinking or whatever, you got to pay attention to that. Bad company doesn't just change what you do, it changes how you think. So Be mindful of what you keep around you and be intentional about the environments that you choose. Don't be their company. Watch the company that you keep, but also watch the company that they keep too. That's a whole nother video.